Hi everyone. Okay, so in this session, I'm going to deliver a lecture on a topic 3, which is on a plain trust. Okay, without further ado, let's discuss in detail on this particular topic. Okay, so as usual, let's look on the learning outcomes. So basically, they have two learning outcomes here where you are going to learn how to calculate the internal process of plain trust by using method of joint, and you are going to learn how to calculate the internal process of plain trust by using the method of sections. So in this session, we will discuss in detail how we can use both of these methods to calculate the internal process in the plain trust. Okay, so let's start with the method of joint, and before we go further into this, let's look on this particular slide. Okay, so in this slide, basically this is the simplified approach to determine the internal process in the trust, where basically if you found this situation in the trust diagram, so you may to come into conclusions the value of zero force member. Okay, so what does it mean of a zero force members in the trust? Okay, if you found that there is only two non-collinear members are connected to a joint that has no external loads or reaction applied to it, then the force in both members is zero. Okay, for instance, let's look on this particular diagram. Okay, so this is a two non-collinear member. Okay, so which is a member AC and member AB. So you can see that at these joints, there is no external load applied or reactions applied. So due to this condition, so the internal forces of FAC and FAB is equal to zero. So in detail, you can see that the summation of force in the vertical and the summation of force in the horizontal. So simplified both of this equation, you can see that the value of FAC and FAB is equal to zero. Same goes for this particular diagram. So you can see that there is no external load applied at this joint, and by checking the summation of force in vertical in this direction, consider this is a vertical direction, and this is a horizontal direction of x. Okay, so you can see that the internal forces of AC and AB is equal to zero. Okay, so perhaps you will see these situations in some diagram of a plain truss. Okay, so and this another situation where you can get the value of internal forces, which is a zero force members. Okay, so let's see in detail. Okay, if three members, two of which are collinear, are connected to a joint that has no external loads or reactions applied to it, then the force in the member that is not collinear is zero. Okay, so let's look on this particular diagram. Okay, so this is you can see that they have a three member here, which is AD, AC, and AB. So AD and AB is a collinear member. So meanwhile, AC is a non-collinear member. So you can see that there is no external force applied and there is no reaction applied at this joint. So by that, the member of non-collinear member, which is referred to FAC, is equal to zero. So you can further check by looking on the summation of force in the vertical. So you can see here FAC is equal to zero. So where by considering the summation of force in horizontal, you can see that the FAB and the FAD will equal in value. Okay, so similarly for this particular case, okay, so in some angle of member in truss, so you can see that FAD and FAB is a collinear member, meanwhile FAC is a non-collinear member. So for sure the FAC will be a zero force member in this particular diagram. Okay, so basically they have three methods to calculate the internal forces in the truss. So we could use a method of joints, method of section, and also graphical method. But the graphical method is not covered in the syllabus. So we will only touch on the method of joint and the method of section. Okay, so let's start with the method of joint. Okay, so this is steps involved in using the method of joint in order to calculate the internal forces in the truss. So basically they have a 6 simple steps where you can see that the first step you need to draw the free body diagram, shows all the external forces, all the reaction forces in the frame, in the truss structure. Sorry. So and followed by solve the external reactions. So this step is common for every structure that we have dealt previously in the previous topic. And the third step is select a joint with minimum number of unknowns, which is not more than 2, and analyzing it using the summation of force and equal to 0 in the vertical and summation of force in horizontal equal to 0, so to check the equilibrium. So by considering both of these condition of equilibrium at the joint, so you gonna to solve the internal forces in member. Okay, so you need to bear in mind that you need to choose the joint that the numbers of unknown not more than 2. So this is very important for this method. Okay, so which is the key point for this method. Okay, so and proceed to other joints. So and again you need to consider with the minimum numbers of unknowns, which is not more than 2. And basically at the last joints, basically you have solve all the entire internal forces, where at the last joints we will use that particular joint to check the equilibrium of forces, so to ensure that the summation of force in the vertical and horizontal is equal to 0. And the last step, you may to tabulate all the member forces in the table, okay, and you can indicate the tension or compression member. So let's we look in detail in examples based on this particular 6 step of for the method of joint. Okay, so in example 1, you can see that we have a truss, plain truss, which is supported at pin and roller at the point A and C respectively. So this truss is applied by the external load, which is a horizontal load or lateral load with amount of 500 kilonewton at the point B. And the dimension given is a 2 meter vertical and horizontal 2 meter as well. So we also use the method of joint to calculate the internal forces of each member in this problem. Okay, so first thing you need to draw the FBD for this particular truss system. So you need to show the external or direction forces at the support and the external forces at the joint. Okay, so and the second step, you can solve for the reaction at support to find out the reactions for VC, VA, and HE. So I don't want to discuss in detail on this. It's just about the using the 3 equilibrium equation that I have mentioned many times in a previous structure system. Okay, so and the third step, you need to choose the joint where consists of a minimum number of 2. So by looking on this Peabody diagram, you can see that you may start from point B. Okay, so because AB and BC is the unknown force member that we gonna to solve, and basically you may to start from joint A also, because you can see that at joint A the unknown members is BA and AC, since we have determined the reaction at support, which is VA and HA, so the 2 numbers of unknown at this joint. And you can also to start at the joint C, because at joint C you can see that only 2 unknowns member, minimum 2 unknowns member here. Okay, so actually there is many options to start to calculate the internal forces for this problem. But if you look on these particular solutions, you can see that the joint that has been selected is at the joint B. Okay, so at joint B, you can see that we have a BA and BC, and we have applied load, which is 500 kilonewtons laterally. Okay, so okay, for the method of joint that I wanted to highlight here, okay, so we do not know whether the member is a compression or tension. So we need to assume that the member is in tension for initial assumption. So in tension meaning that you need to draw the arrow is outward from the joint. So this is joint, so you can see that the member is outward from the joint for member BC and member AB. Okay, so this is a lateral forces, which is a 500 Newton. Okay, so and consider the summation of force in horizontals. Okay, so you can see that we have a 500 Newton to the right, which is a positive to the right. And we have a component of member FBC, which is a FBC cos 45. So, and by simplifying this equation, you can see that we have solved for the internal forces in member BC, which is equal to negative 7 or 7.1 or 7 Newton. Okay, so and proceed with the vertical summation, the summation of vertical force, which is equal to 0. So in the vertical direction, we have FAB downwards, and we have a components of a member FBC, which is a FBC sine 45. So it's both of them is in a negative sign since it is downwards. Okay, simplified this equation, you can see that we have solved for the internal forces in member AB, okay, which is equal to 500 Newton. Okay, so member AB and member BC have been solved, so you can move to another joint, whether you can move to joint A or joint C in order to solve the internal forces in member AC. Okay, let's look on the next slide. Okay, so in the step 4, you can see that joint A has been chosen to solve the internal forces in member AC. So by us considering the summation of force in horizontal, okay, so you can see that the FAC is equal to 500 kilonewtons. So you can see that here, we don't know what is the state of stress here, whether it's compression or tension. So as usual, you need to assume that this member is under tension. So you need to draw the arrow upwards from the joint A. Okay. So and the last step, where actually we have solved all or the entire members forces. So basically at the last joint, we will check the equilibriums of system. So by choosing the joint C, okay. So we will check the internal the equilibrium of the system in the vertical and horizontal. So we need to ensure that the system must be equal. That means that the summation of force must be equal to 0 in both directions. So to justify the equilibrium of the system. So by looking on the solution, you can see that the summation of force in horizontal. So we already find out the value of FAC and FBC. So just simply substitute the value into this equation. So you can see that the summation of force in horizontal is equal to 0. Similarly, for the vertical summation of force in the vertical direction, so you can see that the summation of force is equal to 0. So and finally, you can tabulate all the internal forces value in the table. So since we have 3 members, you can see that they have 3 internal forces, which is 500 for the AB and AC, which is a compression, where the BC is in a the BC is in a tension. In this slide is positive indicate the compression, negative is indicate the tension. Okay, so I have get confused with these things. So basically, some books consider that positive is compression, some books consider positive is negative. But this in this slide, if I'm not mistaken, positive is tensions, negative is compression. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, so okay, let's move on the second example. Okay, so in this example, you can see that we have a truss that's supported by the pin and roller at the A and E. Okay, and this truss is loaded by the 5 kN pointed at the point D and at the point C. So we will use the method of joint to solve all the internal forces for this member. So as usual, you need to find out the reactions value at support. Okay, so here by using the 3 equilibrium equations. Okay, so I don't want to discuss in detail on this. I hope that you can figure out this by yourself. Okay, so basically, they have another way to solve this problem where you can't solve this without find the reactions at support. So where you may to start from C. So you can see at the point C, they have minimum numbers of member which is not more than 2. So basically, you can start from joint C. Okay, so and you gonna to solve the internal forces in the member BC and CD. So and you can move to another joint which is on the joint D. Okay, so when in the previous joint, which is at joint C, you have solved for this particular member DC. So and when you move to this particular joint D, so there is only 2 minimum numbers of unknowns, which is a member DE and member BD. Okay, so and by considering the summation of force in horizontal and vertical equal to 0, so you're going to solve for the DE and DB. So and the next joint you made to move to joint B. Okay, so since these members of BD and BC have been solved based on the previous joint, so you can solve for the member BE and BA at this joint B. Okay, so and the next joint you can move to joint A. At the joint A, so where at the joint A you have 4 numbers of unknown here. Sorry, not joint A. You can move to joint E, because at joint E, basically this member EB has been solved, ED also has been solved. So and EA is the only unknown in this joint E. Okay, so this and the E is unknown here. Okay, so which means that they have a minimum which is not more than 2 unknown. Okay, so you can't move to joint A because this particular reactions value is not we consider that this particular reactions value is not determined yet. Okay, so this is 2 unknowns, so this is another unknowns which is more than 2, so you can't move from joint B to joint A, so you need to move from joint B to joint E. So after that you can move to joint A because you have completed all the internal forces in the member. Okay, so and at last you can solve for the reaction value for the HA and the VE. So that is another way to solve this problem without calculating the value of reaction at support. Okay, so but in this slide they have solved by solving the reaction at support. Okay, okay, so okay, so by looking on this diagram, you can see that by solving the reaction at support, you may to start from joint A. Okay, so or you can to start at joint B. How about the joint B? E? Cannot. Okay, so joint E, you can't to start from joint E because they have 3 unknowns here. Okay, remember AE, EB, and ED. So and the joint that you can start to solve the internal forces is joint E. Okay, so by looking at the solution, you can see that the joint A has been selected to start the calculation. Okay, so and by considering the summation of force in horizontal, you can see that we can solve for the FAB and for FAE for vertical direction. Okay, so once joint A has been considered and you can solve for the AE and AB, you can move to joint E. Okay, so or you can skip to joint C because joint C you can see that the numbers of unknowns is not more than 2. Okay, so by looking on this solution, you can see that joint C has been selected. Okay, so and the member in BC and CD is equal to negative 7.071 kilonewton and 5 kilonewton. Okay, and you can move to joint D. Okay, so by looking on this joint D, you can solve for the ED and DB. Okay, so which is equal to 5 kilonewtons and for the DE and negative 5 kilonewton for BD, which is this one is a compression. This is a compression. This is a tension. Okay, so and you can proceed to joint E. Okay, so at the joint E, you can see that okay, this has been solved, and this also has been. Okay, this is not yet. Okay, perhaps this will be chosen for the last joint. So joint B has been chosen for the to checking the equilibrium of the system of thrust. Okay, so and you can see that the last joint, which is a joint B, you can see that all the member basically has been determined, and the joint B has been selected to check the equilibrium of the system in the horizontal and in the vertical, and you can see that the system is in equilibrium in a vertical and horizontal. And last step, you can tabulate all the internal forces with their corresponding compression and tension state. Okay, so that's it for the method of joints for these sessions. So we will continue in the next lecture for the method of section.